I have noticed very carefully that the Honorable Fred Matiang'I shares some characteristics with Honorable Raila. That no matter what, he may not wish to see the country getting finished. You know, there are people who believe that if it's not them, then it should be nobody. Yeah, there are characters who think so. If it is not them, then it should be nobody. You remember that case of the Bible in 1 Kings 3:25, beginning from around verse 20, 1 Kings, where there was an issue of a child. There are two women who delivered at the same time, and they were arguing about whose child died. Then the case was presented before King Solomon. Then King Solomon said, okay, give me a knife. I want to cut the baby into two. Give each one of you a piece. But one woman, who was the really mother, said, no, instead of cutting, because when you cut the child will die. The woman said, instead of cutting the child into two, give it to that woman. We better have the child alive, even though it's not mine, but let the child be alive. That was the wisdom. Actually, most people think that Solomon was wiser, but the truth is, the woman who said, give the other one the child, was more wiser. What Solomon did, he used wisdom to set a trap, to know who cares. But we see wisdom in the woman who said, give the other one a child. Because she too was a mother and she had milk. And she could actually breastfeed that baby. Even though her own died, the milk did not die. The woman wanted the child alive. But the other woman said, if I cannot have the child, this other woman cannot also have her own. And we have politicians in this nation who are similar to the other woman who said, if I cannot have it, let us miss it, all of us. And that is not what Raila is. Raila says, even if I don't have it, give it to the other woman. She can take care of it. That's why this country has survived. Me, I have never supported Raila. I have never prayed for him. But all I can say, that level of wisdom can only come from God. But I can see God using him. The other time I asked God, is this man, Raila, your man? And God said, I appointed Pharaoh for my own reasons. He's here serving the purpose of God. But when you hear people say, if we cannot be the ones, then Kenya cannot be there. Who are you? Who do you think you are? As I always say, Kenya will be there, but some people will not be there. Those who think that Kenya cannot be there, I am here to tell you, Kenya will be there, but you will not be there. I have seen and I have perceived in my heart that this Honorable Matiang'I has some similarity with Honorable Raila. He cannot wish to see this country go down. But there are particular politicians who are working hard. And I thank God that Honorable Matiang'I is sensing that. I was shown prophetically that after President William Ruto, when he has finished his constitutional mandate and prophetic mandate, I had seen, and I put it on YouTube many years ago, that the next president is coming from the mountain. But for some reasons, I'm persuading God, so that at least after President William Ruto, then probably in a constitutional way, they can even hand it over to Matiang'I because he considers this country. The only person who surprised me is Elder Maraga, Justice. And I want to request him to stop. Former Chief Justice should not be in the opposition, should not be in the government. He should be at the middle. is the wisdom for the nation. When the opposition and the government are in chaos, we should be having one person called Chief Justice Maraga, who I look at like Kofi Annan. That is who he is. Those Chief Justice is at the level, former Chief Justice Maraga, maybe he doesn't know himself, is at the level of Desmond Tutu, Yes, and the level of Kofi Annan. That is who, in fact, Justice Maraga is at the level of Kofi Annan. Some of these people we respect in Kenya cannot be sought for in matters that are beyond Kenya. They cannot be, if there is a problem elsewhere, they can't even be welcome. But this former Chief Justice is at the level of Kofi Annan, Desmond Tutu, the former president of Tanzania, Benjamin Mkapa. That is the level